Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by the WBA bantamweight champion of the world, Nina Hughes. Nina, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, last time we spoke, you were not a world champion, and now you are. It's amazing. 5 fights in as well.
Yeah.
I, it must be hard, and I'm sure you've been asked this loads of times already. But try and sum up how it feels or how it felt when the verdict went in your favour and you fulfilled that dream.
Oh, it was an amazing feeling. Like, obviously, we was confident we'd won, but you still never know until they actually say your name. When they're like announcing the result, it's still the most nerve-wracking feeling. But yeah, it was an amazing feeling. Can't really describe it.
How did you feel in the fight itself? Were you pretty comfortable? Obviously, 10-2s is the championship distance. Jamie Mitchell had stopped a British opponent before. She'd obviously beat Shannon
Yeah.
for the title as well. How did you feel when you were in there? Was it you don't want to say easier, but was it more comfortable maybe than you expected?
To be fair, it was more, yeah, it was more comfortable than I expected. Like we was confident we could win, but we knew it'd be a tough fight, and it was a tough fight. I mean, the rounds were close, but we knew we was winning. Like I think the first round was close. We lost the first round, and then I think we won each round up until the sixth, built up a big lead, and then I got cut in the sixth. So I think I lost that round, and then yeah, and then we changed tactics. We had to box on the back foot, but we still had lots of success. Maybe give away another round or two. But yeah, we was confident we was winning, and we had a big lead.
Was there any concern in that? I suppose she was the bigger name. She's a Matchroom fighter. Obviously, you are now, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But were you concerned about the judges and whether you get what you deserve?
Yeah, obviously you never know with the judges. Like we thought like we didn't think it was close enough where you couldn't get like we thought we'd won quite comfortably. So, but you never know, do you? There's always still that little bit where like you're the way fighter, you don't know.
How much of a gap do you think there is between the level you'd been fighting at previously? I suppose Tyson would probably be your best opponent before Jamie as a pro to the
Yeah.
world title level.
Yeah, like Jamie's a great fighter. Like respect her a lot as a fighter. We knew that it was going to be tough, and it was tough. But yeah, we trained so hard for this. We corrected a lot of things we'd done wrong in the past, and yeah, we knew we had to put on a great performance, and we did.
Do you feel you're now you've got to this stage competing against a similar level of opposition to the quality you faced in the amateurs?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I like boxing all around the world, top class, world class amateurs, sparring world class people. The level is high. So obviously, when you're starting out as a pro and you're fighting lower level people, it is different. But yeah, definitely, once you reach the top, it's the same level.
Did you have an idea going into the Jamie Mitchell fight that if you were to win, you'd be signed with Matchroom? Was that kind of on the cards, or was it kind of
Yeah,
negotiations started after?
yeah. So Matchroom gave me the chance, and obviously, if I won, it was always on the card. So
How delighted are you? Because we talked before about trying to find a big promoter and being on TV more and all that, and that's now, all now in your future. How do you feel about signing
yeah,
with Metro?
yeah, it's great to finally get the recognition like I feel like I deserve. It has been hard, like no literally no one wanted to sign me. Even when I won the Commonwealth and the WBO International, I thought that might open a few more doors, but we're still struggling. I mean, I know my coach was offering like Boxer and Wasserman for me to box for nothing just to get me some exposure on their shows, but we just didn't have any luck anywhere. So finally got the luck from Matchroom to box against Jamie Mitchell. She needed an opponent. And yeah, I was made the most of that opportunity.
What have they told you, Matchroom, about their plans for you? What have they got in mind?
So hopefully having a few fights next year. Um, Looks like Shannon Courtenay for the first one. And then hopefully win that Ebanie Bridges next.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that. I was talking to someone about this the other day. For me, and I'm not a boxing manager or a trainer or anything, but it would seem like you'd want Ebony first, then Shannon, because you could go into the Shannon fight with two belts, you'd be more money probably, and all that sort of stuff. Why? What's the logic of it being Shannon first?
Because Ebony's got to have an operation on her hand and
Uh,
be out in. I want to box it end of March. I want to be at I want 3 fights next year, so we don't want to be waiting around till the summer to fight. So the next logical opponent. Obviously, Ebanie, she's got a belt, so she'd be my first choice. But yeah, she's going to be injured for a little while. Hopefully, recovers soon. And in the meantime, I need an opponent, so Shannon makes sense.
What did you make of Ebanie's performance and the fight itself with Shannon O'Connell at the weekend?
Yeah, I think she put on a great performance. I mean, like, I wasn't sure who was going to win on paper. I hadn't seen a lot of Shannon, but she looked like she'd boxed some and beat some really good people. So she's beating current world champions. So yeah, I think she stuck it right on her. She's got the perfect game plan. And yeah, she showed a lot of heart, and she showed how strong she is. So yeah, she's done well.
Have you done any work with Ebanie, like sparring?
No,
Probably for the best. Oh. So yeah, Shannon Courtenay looks like next up. We've talked about her in previous interviews. She was someone you were happy to fight earlier in your career. It's fair to say you weren't exactly bowled over by her skills when we talked before. Do you feel she's improved?
Yeah, she's a good fighter. She showed she can adapt. She can box aggressively, and she looks like she's trying to box more now. So yeah, I'm expecting a tough fight, and I'm going to train hard and train for everything that she might bring.
What have you made of her recent performances? Because we saw her take that defeat, obviously, to Rachel Ball. We know she's got a victory over Ebanie, which looks better now, but I'd say Ebanie's improved a lot under Mark Tibbs. What have you made of Shannon's recent form?
So I'd say really, like, she obviously put on a great performance against Ebanie when she beat her. Like, she did box really well. And then she lost to Jamie Mitchell, but she was blamed the knee. So I don't know, it's hard to say. She'd had a year out, so you can't take too much from her performance on Saturday. We'll have to see what she brings on fight night.
What about the whole weight making issues as well? Because obviously you're going to now be fighting her. It's a championship fight. Is there any concerns that she might struggle again to make the limit?
Yeah, I suppose there is, because on Saturday she weighed in nearly £7 over the bantamweight limit. So yeah, hopefully she can make it, and hopefully we can make the fight.
How happy are you with this fight? Because she is quite a big name, but looking at kind of amateur pedigree, skill set, even pro pedigree as well now, you'll be favoured to win the fight. It's a winnable fight, but you get all that profile from opposing someone who's got a relatively big name.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not underestimating her at all. So yeah, it's good to fight. I'm just happy to fight on a big stage, fight a former world champion, and hopefully get the recognition.
Do you think there'll be any, I mean, it's not really your style, but do you think there'll be any trash talk in the build-up? She can get a bit feisty sometimes.
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Is it kind of starting to sink in for you now that you're kind of a big deal? Not just winning the world title, but, you know, I've seen even before this doing loads of interviews out and about, not just on YouTube either, you know, across different genres or different platforms rather. You know, you're much in demand now. It must seem like a big change from where you were just, what, a year ago?
Yeah, I hated doing the interviews at first. I'm just getting a bit more used to them now.
You're going to have to do a lot more now. That's the thing.
Yeah, I've had to. But no, I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying the whole experience, really. Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to boxing on the big stage.
What's the long-term goal? Obviously, the next two fights seem to be pretty much mapped out for you. Should it all go your way, is undisputed the next goal?
Yeah, that's definitely an aim. Obviously, I've got to take each fight by fight as it comes. But should I get through Shannon, and then, like they've said, probably the winner will probably fight Ebanie, and that's 2 belts. And then hopefully Dina and Luna can box each other for the other 2 belts, and then maybe undisputed at the end.
Now, I should ask you, and I'm not just saying this to stir up trouble. I'm not just saying this to stir up trouble. Maybe there's an element of that. But Shannon O'Connell made some pretty scathing comments about Ebanie in the build-up to their fight, about the example she perceived Ebanie was setting to young girls, including her daughter. I don't know how much of that was kind of pre-fight build-up, but what did you make of those comments?
They just had a lot of bad blood for each other, really. Like, it is what it is. You can't blame Ebanie for what she's done. She's probably made a lot of money and got to where she has through what she's done. So each to their own. Like nothing. It's just one of them things, isn't it? Everyone's got their own way of doing things, and that's her way. So.
And have you been impressed by how much she's improved as a fighter, regardless of the profile stuff? Because she could probably skate by on those things, but she's she's improved in the gym.
Yeah, definitely. She looks like she's improved loads under Tibbs. I mean, to me, like this fighting Shannon Courtenay is probably her best performance and her best live opponent. When she fought Roman, like even though she was like the longest reigning world champion, Roman just stood in front of her for like the first half of the fight, not barely throwing any punches. So it was a bit of a weird fight. So it was hard to give her the credit she deserved. But now the way she dealt with Shannon O'Connell, you've got to give her credit there.
What do you think it is that's going to set you apart in these fights with the likes of Ebanie and Shannon? Is it the amateur pedigree? Is it the experience now at world level? What do you think is going to be the key for you winning those fights?
I just think my boxing brain, the way I can adapt, and my amateur pedigree and my experience.
That's great stuff. And we talked before about how aware your kids are of what you do for a living and everything you're achieving. How do they feel about you bringing home the belt?
Yeah, they're happy, really happy. They both got to watch this time, and I did promise them as well. I said, if Mummy wins world title, I'll take you to the toy shop and buy you whatever you want. So they were even more happy.
I suppose normally you'd say I'll take you to Dubai, but you're already there, so.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to come to Dubai with me, so.
Well, maybe next time then.
Yeah.
When you're a unified champion, that's the next one.
Yeah, they're going to be expecting a present every time now.
I don't blame them. Yeah. All right, great stuff, Nina. Really, really appreciate your time. Look forward to when the next fight date's announced. Enjoy it, soak it in, enjoy being a champion.
Thanks a lot.
All right, take care. Speak soon.
Bye bye.